Yo YouTubers, it's EMDSD14R coming to you live from the Keystone State. This is the first official video I've made after Irene came through, other than the one about the defective Silverliner 5s, which Septa is starting to find out are basically rolling heaps of junk. But anyway, back to Irene. Wasn't any major flooding in my house, but there was some flooding in this area. A good number of people and stores around here did lose their food, but thank God we were fortunate enough that when the power got back on, we didn't actually lose our food. And I was able to get some other stuff done, spend some time with family and my cats, and that was all good. That's not what I'm making this video. I'm making this video exclusively on my only 6 Horizon Fleet coaches in my collection. And here they are. My NJT Dot commuter cab car, my NJT coach, Septa coach, Septa commuter car. These two are the unnumbered version. Another coach and another cab car, both the number version. So I will be going into detail about these a little bit. As you guys know, I do have a lot of rare and unique trains in my collection. I was fortunate enough to get them. Most people, when they had the opportunity to buy them, they missed out, and now they are having a hard time finding them. But I was blessed enough to actually know people, meet people that actually had these trains, and I bought them at an early young age. Early on in life. Actually, my dad and mom got me these cars. These cars I've had, these 4 cars I've had since I was 6 or 7. These cars I've had about 5 or 6 years. I'm not really too sure if these 2 cars were originally in my collection, because I did lose 2 Septa cars in storage, and I lost 4 Septa cars in storage, and I lost my NJT Dot coach. So I lost 5 cars out of my 10 in my collection, and that was many years ago, like back in like 97, 98, back then, so nothing recent. But anyway, God blessed me to get these 2 coaches 5 or 6 years ago, so I got 6 again. I actually am the highest bidder for an NJT Dot commuter coach on eBay right now, so hopefully if I can keep those people at bay, I will have a coach to go with this cab car. So, anyway, what have I done? I've actually built a brand new styrene door for this car, as you guys can see, and it's pretty close to accurate. It's slightly lower than the windows, but that's okay. And then I got the back done. I got the inside done. All it needs now is a frame, or a chassis I should say. So I'm getting that one up and running. I'm rebuilding this one here. I'm getting new trucks for it. I actually have the parts. Where do I have the parts at? Parts. Actually, these parts came from my friend Aaron, AMH 9217, I believe that's his username. So these are the new truck parts. So those will be going with that car. So I'm getting that up and running. And then my unnumbered set of Septa commuter coaches, I still have them. Of course, I'm not going to get rid of them. These are riding on the... I really don't even know the name of these trucks, y'all, but they're commonly used on the Amtrak Horizon Fleet coaches and on the Superliner 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. Yeah. This one, the cab car here has the Superliner 2 trucks on it. Really looks really nice on the car. I mean, I bought the trucks from Stroudsburg Train Shop up in Stroudsburg about 2 or 3, maybe 4 years ago, and I needed replacement trucks for these because the ones that were on there were just worn out. So I replaced them, and they have run flawlessly ever since. They're pretty. This one, I mean, they're a little bit scratched up because I play with them rough. However, they weren't this bad. I let a friend of mine I loaned him these cars because he needed to duplicate them to make some more cars, because he had like a whole lot of them, like a spare set of them in his basement in his train store, and he couldn't match the paint right. So I offered to, you know, let him borrow my cars, and we made a deal, but that didn't really work out too good. But I'm moving on from that because I got my cars back, and that's all that matters. But I'm never loaning anything to anybody again. Never do that. I highly recommend, if you have anything like this, don't loan them. Don't let people borrow them saying, oh, I just want to look at them to match the paint, or something like that. That's not cool. So anyway, moving on. These are the unnumbered version. Walthers, let me just turn them on their sides here. Walthers made 2 versions of the Septa limited coaches. Back when the Septa started this service, they called it the Limited. Now, there's a service that runs out here on the Harrisburg line called the Great Valley Flyer. Now, sometimes the Great Valley Flyer uses 2 AEM7s, or AEM7 and ALP44. But anyway, the two versions that Walthers made were the unnumbered version and the numbered version. I have both. Numbered version I picked up about 5 or 6 years ago. They're in great condition. They have the original trucks on them. And by the way, if you guys have these cars and they have those metal, those metal springs, where are they? Where did I put those silly metal springs? Up there they are, looking dead at me. These little springs here, these actually short out your track. When they come in contact with these metal wheels, they actually short out your track. And for a number of years, people were having problems about that. So what Walthers did is they actually made a new set of wheels with different insulation. Did that solve the problem? No. And the reason how you can tell the wheels are newer is because they're a darker color than the original wheels. But anyway, that didn't solve the problem. What does solve the problem is using strips of styrene. And the good advantage with styrene is, and I can show you a side view, is it's very flexible, highly flexible, so you can actually just lift it up, pop your wheel off, slide it back on. Look at this. I mean, look at this. Voila, and you're done. As opposed to dealing with these that actually bend out of shape, and you can't really use them anymore. They short out your track. I did that conversion to both of these cars. I first tested this out on my, I think it's my Phase 2 Amfleet Cafe from Walthers. I tested it out on that car, and it works flawlessly. I need to clean up down here. I haven't been able to vacuum in a while, so forgive me, y'all, if it's a little dusty. But these cars are great. That problem actually solved, and also the truck issue. These are made for wide radius curves. What you have to do is you have to cut out a little notch right on the inside here of the box, right here, so that the trucks are able to turn. And what this guy did to improve the turning ability, he moved the couplers about a foot and a half, about half a scale foot forward, so they actually sit out further than your traditional couplers. And I can actually show you that right here, an overview. See, there's the regular coupler length, unmodified. There's your modified version, and that is a bit of a pain because the two cars that are here, they're the correct coupler height. These aren't the correct coupler height, so that's a problem. So I can't run them in a 4-unit set like I want to. So I'm hopefully going to go to Nicholas Smith. It's probably almost 12 o'clock right now, p.m. Probably going to go today. I won't be able to go to Friday because I'm going down to Drexel. That's my college, y'all. I got accepted to Drexel, y'all. I'm a Drexel Dragon. Yes! Yes! Engineering, science, and technology, that's my major. So, I don't know if you guys know that yet, but now you guys know, so that's why I'm so stoked about it. But anyway, back to the Horizon Fleet coaches. What was I talking about? I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I was talking about the coupler issue. What the owner did, this guy, he has his initials on it, CPT. I think that's his initials. I bought these along with my Roco built AEM7, It was actually, I believe, it looks to be a true, genuine 8EM7, but it looks like it was kit bashed from a German Federal Railways electric. It's 100% accurate. It was made before Atlas started making them, which is pretty amazing. Whoever made it did a good job, and I bought it with these two cars here, the two numbered versions. What the owner did, he added the MU connectors, a windshield wiper. I added the Details West bell right there. I don't know if you guys can really see that. Let me see if I can get this. There, it's that little gray dot there. That's the bell. I am planning on getting an HD camera. I know I keep saying it. There's another view of the Details West bell on that car. I know I keep saying I'm getting an HD camera. I've just been trying to jiggle stuff with bills, getting my other projects done. But it's coming along. Hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks I'll have a good number of my project locomotives done, and I'll have all these up and running. I mean, well, these two are fine. These two are fine. It's just these two are the problem, and I need to get those fixed up and rebuilt. But on eBay you can find these cars. However, the ones you will never find unless it's a blessing or once in a blue moon, you will never find your Septa cars online. You will never find the Horizon Septa coaches online. As many years as I've been on eBay and visited eBay, you never see them. The only time you saw them was probably back in like 99 or 2001, 2002. Between those 3 years, my friend who owns his own hobby shop made duplicate cars using my cars as a basis, and he sold some of them on eBay. He was selling them for $100 a car. So even if I wanted to, I wasn't able to get any of those cars at the time. I wasn't able to get them. Otherwise, I would have snatched them up. I would have been able to snatch them up. What he did, the only thing different between the original cars here and the custom ones he had painted, duplicates I should say. The gray paint was darker, the red was a little bit darker, the blue was darker, and the end lights were painted red. That's it. Those are the only details that were different. Other than that, the cars were identical except for the paint being darker and whatnot. But yeah, I believe someone went in there and bought a 10-car set of these Septa coaches. So you do 100 times 10, that's $1,000 right there. So you buy, yeah, that's $1,000 right there. I believe so, because those cars sold like stink. Like, by the time you had a time to turn around and smell, they were already gone. I mean, they just went like that. I didn't even have a chance to get them. The cars that are most common on eBay are the New Jersey Transit Dot, the Amtrak cars are pretty common, and the Metro North or Connecticut Department of Transportation cars. Those are pretty common. The NJT coaches are very hard to find. Very hard to find. So these are hard to find. Amtrak is somewhat hard to find. NJT Dots pops up more frequently. Like last week, before the storm hit, I would have had 2 brand spanking new NJT Dot coaches, a cab car and another cab car and a commuter car, and I was going to place the bid on them, and then Irene came through, and then after Irene came through, I checked to see, and I lost because I would have won, but I couldn't bid on them because I didn't have any power. I was kicking myself. I said no, but then this other guy from Florida, I don't even know his name, but he's a cool guy. He's selling a coach right now, and I asked him, look, do you have any more of these cars? He wasn't even sure if he had any more himself. Turns out he had an Amtrak car. So what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting. I'm more focused on getting the NJT Dot coach. That's what I'm more focused on. Amtrak I can get, it's more common, so, but I highly recommend if you got these cars in your collection, don't sell them, please. I mean, seriously, do not sell them. Do not sell them. I'm highly, listen to my voice. I'm highly stressing. Do not sell them. Do not trade them. Do not, because you trade these cars, you got took. I'm serious. You sell these cars, you better get your money's worth for them, because let me tell you something, these cars are very sought after. And very sought after. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Cab4. He has American GK E60 CHs and CPs. I have the American GK E60 CFs. One's painted for Conrail, the other one is undecorated, but it's supposed to be a freelance Norfolk Southern unit. I'm not sure about that yet, but we'll see. He has a whole fleet of the NJT coaches here. A whole fleet. He has like 8 or 10 cars, and his American GK E60 pulls all 10 cars. I think in the video he's showing it pulling 8 cars, I believe. So Cab4, if I'm incorrect on those numbers, please forgive me on that. But anyway, American GK E60s are better than the Bachmans for 2 reasons. One, they use an athearn drive. The E60 CHs and CPs use the U30C or U33C frame with the trucks, and E60 CFs used a SD7 or SD9 frame. That was a little bit that's a little bit backwards, because the front of the locomotive, they actually have it turned backwards. The rear of the locomotive is for the front, and the front is for the rear. But they got it to work, so that's how they did it. And I have 2 of them, thank God. But I highly recommend, if you have these cars, don't sell them, please. And Walthers should actually make them. I mean, seriously, Walthers, you gotta make these cars again. You got people foaming at the mouth. You got people killing each other just trying to get these cars. Okay, not literally killing each other. I'm just using that as an illustration, because everybody wants them. Make them again. Make the cars. Make the cars. Okay, I'm stressing them. I'm stressing that. Make them again. If you're reissuing the Sperry Rail car with DCC in it, if you're reissuing the EMC gas electric or diesel rail cars, reissue these cars, please, so we don't have to fight and foam at the mouth and spend an arm and a leg on these cars, you know, on eBay or some other random site where you buy stuff. I mean, seriously. Yeah, Walthers is reissuing the Sperry Rail car, and I found out the price for it. It's going to be about 150 and 160 bucks for brand spanking new Sperry Rail car, DCC on board. I don't know if it's going to have sound, but the guy at Nicholas Smith told me it's going to be around 150, 160, around there. So if anybody out there knows of a dealer that has one that's an original one, snatch it up, because you're going to be crying, because you're going to have to save up a couple weeks worth of pay to get one with DCC on board. Nicholas Smith is a prime place to find stuff like that. I'm planning on buying a couple of things from them. Usually if I want something, if I don't have the money for it, I just hide it. I just hide it. And it's nothing illegal to hide it. You just put it behind a couple of other train boxes in the store. Just make sure no one's watching you, because if they're watching you, then they're going to go back behind your back and sneak and steal your stuff, and then you're wondering why, where the heck is my locomotive? Da, 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 da. So, you know, just make sure when you hide stuff in the store, make sure that, you know, no one sees you hide it, so they don't take it. So a lot of the stuff I bought I've actually hidden away and waited till I got the money, or I just said, you know what, if it's meant for me, if it's meant for God, if it's God's will for me to have it, He'll let me have it. Or if or I just look at it and say, it's gonna be there, it's not gonna go anytime soon. Sure enough, the train's been sitting there for almost 3 weeks, still there. As soon as I get my paycheck, I go and snatch it up. I haven't bought any locomotives recently at all. The prices are getting totally outrageous. $200, $300. I've been hearing reviews about the... I've been hearing and watching videos with the... I'm going to sit down because I'm tired of standing. I don't know why I'm standing, but... that's better. I've been hearing reviews about the Athearn Genesis SD45-2. I've been hearing and seeing videos, people buying brand new locomotives. The headlights don't work, the sound system doesn't work, there's problems with the trucks on them, the metal or the railings are falling apart when they take them out of the box, or they're already broken out of the box. Athearn, what are you doing? I don't know what's going on, But why would you? I know it's cheaper to make plastic handrails, but the metal ones are so much more durable. So much more durable. And they last way longer. You can do almost anything with those metal grab irons and railings. That's why I prefer buying athearn blue boxes over ready to roll, because I only have because of the railings. I only have like let's see, I had 2 athearn Genesis, an SD70 SD70i, and an SD90 Mac, or an SD80 Mac, I believe. I'm not sure, but it's BNSF. And then I have a Milwaukee Racine and Troy 70th anniversary SD40-2. That's brand spanking new. I bought that from Strasbourg. And then I have my F59 PHI, which is also athearn ready to roll. Those engines are very good. I admit that. The Genesis ones, they're a little bit temperamental, especially on rough track. They're very temperamental. But athearn, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, you're making, brand new locomotives, all the lights are supposed to work. I mean, I was watching this one video on YouTube, and I'm sorry about this, guys. I had to get this out of my system. I was watching this one video on YouTube where a guy bought a brand new Santa Fe SD45-2. And he bought it brand new, put it on the track, and the light bulb, one of the light bulbs was completely blown. I said, are you seriously kidding me? Now, as you guys know, I have a custom locomotive that is called the SD46-3. It used to be a former SD45-2. Reason why I had it's an SD46-3 because it has -3 electronics, and it's I'm not sure on the prime mover yet, but it's probably getting a 12-710 or a 16-710 prime mover. But it uses it still uses the original athearn Genesis frame, and I really kind of need y'all's help on this. I contacted athearn. They want to charge me almost $120 or $130, $120, $130 for a brand spanking new chassis with sound and DCC in it. I'm saying I'm kind of a little skeptical on that. If there's anybody out there on YouTube that has a SD45-2 with sound and DCC, preferably, that's what I want, sound and DCC, with a quality Tsunami sound decoder in it, and you don't like it because of the poor quality in it, please, by all means, contact me, because I will buy it from you. I'm not buying them on eBay. I found one guy was selling his for $259. I mean, that's way overpriced. $300, no. Cheapest one I found was $70, and that was regular DC. But anyway, back to the Horizon Fleet coaches, and enough with my rambling. So that's what I need help with, guys. Can you help me out? Thank you. If you can help me out, I'd be so appreciated with that little hiccup there, because I need to get that thing up and running. Anyway, back to the Horizon Fleet coaches. If you ever get your hands on one of these, I highly recommend keeping it. If you have a friend that can custom make any train known and unknown to man, have him kit bash you 3 duplicate cars, because they are worth it. I'm eventually going to ask one of my friends. He's from Argentina. His name is Leonardo. This guy does A1 work. He can make anything you can think of. Steam engines, diesel, electric, you name it, he can make it. He's been in the business for almost 15 to 25 years. Great guy, great person. If you guys want his information, I can post that for you. I'll ask him first. I mean, even though he's happy to get more business, I'll ask him, because I just, out of respect, I respect my friends and people in general. That's the proper way to do it. So I'll find that out. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of my review of one of the most sought after pieces of equipment in the model railroad world, the Walthers Horizon Fleet coaches, in both Septa, New Jersey Transit, and New Jersey Dot. Alright, y'all, so you guys enjoy this video. You guys be safe. Enjoy the rails, and be safe when you're around trains. Stop, look, listen, and live. Operation Lifesaver, alright? And more update videos will be forthcoming soon, alright? God bless you, and see you at the next station.